Happy holidays, everybody. Welcome back to the South Bay Syndicate. Today we're going to be diving in to Maul, Legends of the Force, Blue, as we head into week 3 of Season 6 for PQs. I think what we're seeing a lot of right now are these blue-green hero decks popping up, really doing well, which I think is going to force us into a lot of blue-green villain control, popping up even more. So trying to think about other decks that could do well in the space. When I look at this deck, I think about if we run into things like Queen Amidala, we can get some pings off, or we get some removal from these various Force Lightning and other things that remove ability. Then you have some Ambushers and some Sentinel with Turret. And then with Maul and his Lightsaber, you can really do some damage. If you run into heavy space, you also have some answers with Top of the Summit off of pings, Talzin's Assassin doing -3. Just a lot of variety in this deck to deal with whatever may come. It'll be really fun to play and see if it can hold up against those. And if you get into those deeper matchups, you do have the Avengers and Crate Dragons. I do think that it'll be interesting to find the right types of decks that will compete as the meta evolves into this blue-green hero and villain battle. Let's see if Maul can be one of those. We were inspired. I believe there was a second place finish in Europe. Not the same exact deck list, but something like that. And we've seen a couple other videos. I know Star Wars Dad has been on it for a couple weeks. Go check his out. And I think Mog made a video recently as well. So you can start to see where these other types of decks are coming up more. As we look at this hand, we will keep this, giving us an opportunity to have some early play, maybe some removal with Drain Essence. I don't know that that will come in as much, so I think what we'll do is resource these two, so we have some things to play now and then into later. Okay, Jedi Starfighter, we're not really running space, so I'm not sure that that will do much against us, but we'll definitely start to ping it so that we can utilize our Maul's ability. And let's see what they do here. I'm actually going to play out a unit first, so that I can get the ping and maybe eliminate something that might be able to do a two-for-one trade with Anakin's ability. So it'll be interesting to see what they play here. And they play Bounty Hunter's Crew, which eliminates what I can do there. I wonder if a Karis comes down. Mina, okay. Mina comes down, we'll ping both. Yes, Mina will be able to take one of these out. But when we attack and get the Force again, we'll be able to ping it away if that's what we decide to do. The Power of the Dark Side will hold for now, because as we start to clear these up, we could take out something bigger. Let's see if a Typho comes down. If the Typho comes down, I think we hit it with Tyrannus. No, okay, so there's the ping, or there's the attack in. I think that lets us draw a card. Now this is within ping range. Okay. So that's going to kill this off too. That's going to put us much further behind where we want to be. So I think what we'll do here is play the Tyrannus. The shield will just let us kill that next turn, and then the ping will let us get rid of Mina. Not as ideal. Great pull for them off the Bounty Hunter's Query. I think not much we could do to prevent that. But with Talzin's Assassin and Tyrannus, will be able to do some things. And they pass, so they might have an answer here. They might want to get an attack in. And we'll keep the Drain Essence, because we may need to Drain Essence to set up a Power of the Dark Side on Anakin in a turn or two. Okay, so I think we... How do we want to do this? I think we attack base. I think keeping the shield might be more beneficial for us. And the Mina is just one ping away. We'll play this. We'll get rid of the blue leader. At least evening out the board a little bit. We also have the Top of the Summit, which will, in theory, if we wanted to bring it out, kill both of them. And there is a world where we could crash Tyrannus into Anakin into top of the summit. There's also a world where that stinks. Okay, so this puts us much further behind, I think, where we wanted to be. What we'll do here... I think we crash here because now we can topple the summit and clear all three. And if that play doesn't work out, we can also ping with Maul, deploy, and ping again. But let's look at our topple the summit. It's going to do 3 damage to each damage unit. So it would wipe their board and our units would all live, which is not bad. And our hope, I guess, is that they do not attack with Poe. But I believe they will. I think it's hard. Oh, okay. They deploy Anakin. Maybe they have Cinta? They do. So now we have to think about... we could attack Talzin in, and then when we topple the summit, it clears that as well. Oh, no. Okay, they're hitting with Poe. Okay. So I think in that case, with Poe's attack, we will just attack Talzin into Anakin. And then I also think when we attack with Maul, we could just kill this off. Because they can attack into it next turn with Anakin's ability. So we're at 21, which is not a great place to be. But we have a Power of the Dark Side. We have a Darth Nihilus. Let's see if we can turn this around. We will have some answers coming up into Krayt Dragon. So I imagine here they could play Kellerin. What else can they do? A Wrecker. Okay. Wrecker will kill this. I do think that we have a couple options here, right? We can hit here. Then the Nihilus will kill it. And we'll get an experience and we'll have a 7/7. Yeah. Okay. We can get these two out for protection. We have the Force Lightning. And let's see if we can turn this game around. What are we still weary of? We're still weary of like a Queen Amidala trying to go wide. But I think we have enough answers in our hand. Like we can just kill it off with the Force Lightning. Yeah, let's just try and keep their board as clear as possible. Sure. We're building ours up. We have the Force, a little shield, an ambush. And we're in a really nice spot now, I think, because Krayt Dragon comes down here. They could also play a Krayt Dragon. We have our Force Lightning. And we've kind of taken control of the game with that top of the summit. You can see how powerful these things are. We'll play the Krayt Dragon, putting the pressure on them. I'm even comfortable without an attack here with Nihilus if it means we can Force Lightning the next turn to keep their board clear. I think everything for us right now is keeping their board clear. And I think the Krayt Dragon even puts the Amidala in a tough spot because we should be able to clear it out with the Nihilus ability and then they attack into it. And GG's. Okay. So I think from that they felt like they had no answer. They had 2 cards in hand, but we had with these 2 as a combo could pretty much do anything. And so the top of the summit really changed the game for us, and we took a little extra damage, but I think attacking into the Anakin to clear all 3 was the right play. And GG's to our opponent. So you can see how it can do well against one of the current meta decks.
Hello there.
So this will be interesting because it's going to be more of a control deck from Dedra's side. Probably won't get much ability value out of Darth's ability, so we can think about how we play around that. We do want to try and keep some cards in hand. We'll keep this. The Acolyte will actually be our resource here. I think we'll play the Sage so that we can eat a ping. And then maybe next turn we'll play this and then get a card out of it. So we'll take the damage, we'll claim. And have a Daring Raid. Okay, so now we'll just start to put some value out. I think we'll probably get Power of the Dark-Sided here, which maybe would have been the reason to... Okay, we do not. So I think here we're going to hit base. We will discard this to get the shield out. Then we'll ambush, setting up a ping next turn. We'll take the damage. We will ambush and then shield. And yes, the Dedra will come out and hit. But with the ping, we'll be able to kill both of them next turn. Okay, they decide to remove the shield. We'll pass. We will do damage so that it is in range to die to either attack. Okay, well, they still could have a Power Dark Side. Okay, they're the open fire. That's fine. So the Synth is nice. We'll put that down. We'll play a nice 6/6 here. What I don't like is the 1 unit at a time. I think that's very poor into what they're trying to do. And we're experiencing that now. So I think what happens here is we will... we'll kill the Dedra. They just used a No Glory. So we're taking a chance. Sure. They pillage. So I think because they pillage... What we want to do here is bring out the Maul with Cinta so that we have more of a board presence. So that's why we waited. They can damage that. We'll deploy Maul. We'll trigger Cinta. We'll attack. Okay. Oh, so they did have it. Okay. So... They had the No Glory. I think here we hit with Cinta first. No reason to just damage ourselves. They'll get rid of Maul. Okay, they'll heal. We'll get that down. They can damage. And we'll claim. So that's the card we wanted, right? So let's get that out. Actually, let's attack with Cinta and then get it out. I guess they could Super Laser Blast here. And so we want to try and get our damage in. That's fine. So maybe they have the Super Laser Blast now. I don't know. This feels like we're in a trouble spot with the draws we're having. And I probably need to think about in the future not resourcing so many of my units, because these are all cards I need. So I think that's just something to think about. Sure, they're going to have a lot of healing. Maybe over-resourced. Another pillage. Okay. They didn't really get anything we're super worried about. Yes, they could have another pillage, but I just wanted to. Okay, so assuming they have removal, I do like these. I can play them both, which is nice. Let's see how much removal they've played. All three no glories. There's a super laser blast. That's great for us. They can damage. I guess I shouldn't let it damage. I should have paid better attention to that. That's my fault. So I forgot that it has to happen. I definitely made a mistake there. That's probably going to be costly. Otherwise, they get to attack for 3, I guess. Okay, so there's all 3 vigilance. Despite us not letting them draw cards, they've gotten all 3 vigilance, all 3 no glories, double pillage. Just ideal, I think, for them. I just don't know that you could get a better set of cards than what they're seeing. Yes, we're deeper into the game, and that could be part of it, but still, I think an unreasonably high hit rate. But they've been drawing a little bit. We've been mostly taking damage to prevent drawing, and they're still doing well with it. That's how it goes. Okay, so they're gonna get that. We'll kill it. Sure. We'll claim. They can draw now. Okay. So we'll keep playing cards and seeing what we can do. But it is getting close to milled. I think we made a couple mistakes here. I'm not sure that they would have made a difference. I know it's going to seem weird, but the Avenger staying out protects me from their Avenger, which is something I think I need. Okay. Sure. Let's get rid of their healing. Play another card. So we're doing everything we can, right? They have another open fire, I'm guessing. Sure. I think that's GG's. Not really much you can do at that point, right? We got a third condemn. And that's going to be it. So let's see. They hit us with a quadruple vigilance, I think, because they must have redrawn it. They hit us with double condemn plus entrenched. They had all 3 no glories at the beginning, and it just ended up being more than we could deal with. GG's to our opponent. And so we'll go to our next game. So, I mean, that hard control is always going to be interesting. When I think about what we'd even sideboard there, I guess we bring in the Disabling Fang Fighters and the Devastators, and maybe we can get there with that. But it's still very tough. Nothing to do in this hand here, so we're going to go ahead and mulligan. And see if we can pick up something better. We're going to want to move faster than Kylo in this case. I do like this Force Lightning. I think the card draw could be okay. So let's do this. We'll get the card draw out. We'll get Marin out. I definitely, when thinking about that control match, maybe I want them to just keep drawing. I don't know. It was a weird game for sure. Okay. So I don't think we want them drawing, but I messed that up. So I could have forced lightning to keep them from ramping, but I think we're okay. All right. I do like this. All right, so we'll go ahead and hit their base. We will. And now we can force lightning in theory if they play. Let's pass, see what they do. We can kill something up to 6. Okay. Okay, so that was a tough turn for us. Now we're set up for kind of a power of the dark side situation. Ooh. So I think here we just attack. Yes, we can get. Let's see what they have in here. Oh, there's the power of the dark side, which we expected. They have Luke or Anakin online. Sure. I doubt they're gonna play out Kylo here to an empty board, but we'll see. We'll happily hit for 6. We will play this out. And I think kill that. I think that we won't have a force unit after Kylo comes out, so I'm trying to be careful with that. Yeah. Because he's going to craving power to kill that. He's going to capture this one. So we would not have had a force unit, so this was a very important thing to use the force lightning there instead of the power of the dark side. I assume they still have an Anakin, but we are getting closer to our Avenger, which we've been holding. Still resourcing a lot of units here. I guess we're drawing all of our units, so that's part of it. But I have to continue to think about that against these more controlling matchups. Every unit lost is kind of an action loss because they're holding all that removal, and if you're resourcing your units, they can save all the removal for these bigger ones. Like there's probably a super laser blast in here, something like that. There's the Anakin. That will get rid of one of these. Yep. I will trigger that. And we'll play this. I will play this. I'll pass. Okay. I don't hate this situation. I think if I can get one more attack in with Shura, I feel pretty good. I cannot get one more attack in with Shura, I feel pretty bad. But I think what we can do is kill the Avenger. No, we can't. Well, yes, we can. Okay. I did the math wrong on that, didn't I? Okay. So if they have a second, oh sure, that's GG's, right? There's nothing we can do there. They got us. Congratulations. Devastator Annihilator is going to be too much for us to come back from. Maybe there's a like Condemn, Entrench, those kind of things could be valuable here. The power is pretty good, but we don't. If we power, we lose the rest of our raiders. And in theory, if we get to attack in here, we could win. 4 and 4 is enough. Oh, never mind. Okay, so I think here we don't want to take the attack, so we lose our raider. We do get the damage in. And we're only running 2 raiders, so they get the other one. They got both Avengers, both raiders. And now we're in a very tough spot. So another, I think, control matchup where they're getting over on top of us. Sure. Right, they have the Anakin in hand, so no matter what we do, our units die. There it is. There it is. There it is. Now, if we drew the Maul's lightsaber here, which there should be nothing we can do. Never mind. So that's GG's. I think Devastator, Annihilator, Snoke is the right combination to take us out. We'll keep fighting, but I don't think there's much we can do. I think this has to die. But overall, I think we're lost. And they're playing things like Condemn. Oh, second Snoke. Perfect. Love it. Anyway, let's just go to our next game. It's going to take forever for them to finish us. Okay, so control getting the better of us for sure. We got an Anakin data vault. Now we're seeing one of the other top decks in Han Green. We don't run a lot of space, as I mentioned, so we need to have the right cards to combat this. I think this hand has some of the right cards, so we're going to go ahead and keep this. We're going to drop these two. I don't know that we ever get to Crate Dragon's turn. Maybe there's a green version of Maul that ramps to get to some of that in these matchups, but I don't think it's going to happen here. Okay. This is an interesting one because I really want this for a Falcon because I think I'm super vulnerable to that, but I don't know that I'll get there. So I might do this to see if I can keep the board clear. So that if they play something in space, I can eliminate it. I just think that that's going to be the better proposition for us. Because if they get a Chewbacca out, well, we have Force Lightning, but for the most part, okay. I think it's troublesome. I'm going to play the Maul here. I know the Han can attack. And that would be tough, but I don't want to take too many shots from the Han. Obviously, they're going to U-Wing here, or Han here, or whatever. And, oh, okay, and the killer him back. So now we're way behind. And there's the tech. So we're going to be able to do a couple things here. One is kill Han, right? That's key. Kill Han. Let's do it. Let's kill Han. Oh, and tech. Sorry. Let me kill Han and tech. Great. Amazing use of our Maul, right? Get the attack. Kill that. So the green could be super interesting again because the Mauls will do a lot of work. Okay. We're going to deploy Maul. We're going to... What's going to happen here? I'm going to have to do 1 damage here, I guess. Take 4. See if anything does... Well, whatever. If he plays the Han, he die anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay. I think on this turn, I'm getting the Saber out. Maybe on the Karis. Oh, okay. Second U-Wing. This time the Han, you think? There it is. Perfect. Let's throw this on here. Sure, let's kill this. And then let's protect ourselves. Okay. All right, so now we're 1 away from Avenger. Right here, we can do 2 damage. We can play Tyrannus as an ambush. Just things to try and stabilize. There's another Han. We'll trigger. We'll attack base. We'll drain essence. And now I think we are taking control of the game. So, yeah, I think we feel pretty good at this point. We've weathered double Han, double U-Wing, 1 Kelleran, 2 Chewbacca's are in the resource. In theory, whatever they play here, we can kill with Avenger. Yeah, so this is great. Now we control space, and that's GG's. So while they did throw a lot at us, we did have the answers. We used our pings in the right way. We were able to, with the lightsaber, control some of the board and get past all of these pieces. The real star was this Maul, taking out Han and Tech to keep them from getting into their resource, and then from there the power of the dark side, and we're able to go. So against 2 of what are considered today's meta, we're doing well. That guy didn't want to play again. Against Control, which I think we're going to see a lot more of as the meta evolves, we're doing less well. So something to think about with this deck for sure. All right, we did not get an opponent here, so we'll jump back in. Okay, so here's one that won our PQ last week. The 99-person PQ in Northridge was taken down by a Vader. It had 41 space units. I don't know if this is that one. This is not the right hand. It's actually not the worst hand either, because the Drain Essence lets us take 1 out, create the Force, which will let us ping into Inquisitor. So we're going to mulligan still. I think we want a first turn that we can do something with. These Talzin's Assassins are great. We still got this. So I do like this significantly more, because I think the Talzin's Assassins are going to play an important role. And the Drain Essence will let us get back our unit if they play a Sanctioner Shuttle, which is the most devastating thing that can happen, I think, for us. So I actually like this significantly better. Let's see what happens. Yep, they have the 2 first turn plays as expected. I think if we don't... Oh, that's pretty good too. Okay, so this will give us 2 options. We can either play the Karis or Drain Essence. I think Drain Essence could immediately take this out, but maybe that's not what we want to do. We could take this one and ping. This does more damage, so let's get this going. And I don't think the Sanctioner Shuttle will come out unless we bait it, so I think we're going to have to play the Karis. Old Daka would be a great draw coming up. That was the expected play, right? So we got the Sanctioner Shuttle. We can just kill it off. Trying to think about what I want to do here, because the Talzin's Assassin can just kill it off next turn. So we'll claim. and then we can ping from there. Yep. I don't know that the power is going to get used, but we'll see. Okay, so here we're going to Talzin's Assassin to get rid of the shuttle. We're gonna hope that they don't play a Victor Leader. If they do, we will ping into another Talzin Assassin to kill it next turn. This power I don't think is going to do anything, but we haven't really drawn anything to help with it. So I think we're in a very close game right now. Depending on what they have in their hand, that's not great for us. So we're going to try and figure out how to make that as small as possible. As we go. Okay. You can see it's going to keep getting bigger. I don't love this. So what I think I'll try and do here is get an attack in. I will ping Drain Essence. Right? That's not going to be enough. So I'll power. Oh no, this is enough, sorry. Great. So I will get an attack. Kill that off. This Victor Leader was just too much, I think, for us to be able to do what we were trying to do. I think even with double power, there's no way for us to get this back. I just think they were just one damage ahead of us at all times with this combat squad. Force Lightning would have been perfect. That hurts as well. And the Victor Leader giving it double. I mean, this is GG's, right? We can't win this no matter what. It was just enough. So GG's to them. I think the Victor Leader combo it's a very powerful deck, and we just couldn't get there. We were just one damage away at all times from stabilizing, and then I think that without Force Lightning, that other ship would have ended us anyway. Okay, so we got Han 2 ECL, which is actually probably the best deck against some of these control and on both sides, hero and villain, because it goes wide and fast and hits hard. And we saw it, I think, in some of the events online over the weekend. It just was continuing to hurt people, to be able to get out wider than they can handle and win those games. So I think we'll also see some more of this. So going into your PQs this weekend, I think Yoda Green is going to be everywhere, right? I think you're going to also see quite a bit of Kira coming back. I think you're going to see this Han ECL. I think Han 1 Green. Just all of these different decks are really going to make their mark. And it'll be interesting to see which one comes out on top. I think right here we go with this. Yes, the Karis lets them bring out their token. I think we're thinking about how to get through this without losing a unit. We'll definitely hit their base. I think a Marin attack is pretty good. Iden, I think, has also been up there. Okay, so they're going Bounty Hunter. We'll claim. Oh, they have nothing. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's see what's coming out. Sure. Now, will this go base or will it take out? I know they want to do damage here. Okay. The other thing I'm interested in as we think about these different decks is how disruptive we can be. I know that the Sabe double yellow is a very hand disruptive deck. I think you could see some more of that coming out. I think the hand disruption could be enough to stifle some of what they're trying to do. And if you're fast with disruption, maybe you can get underneath them and keep them off their game plan. I haven't had a chance to experiment too much with it yet, but definitely something that's I'm thinking about quite a bit. I don't know if it's pillage because that might be too much, or if it's in the world of just sparks and different things that do that. I know on the Palpatine villain side, with Bazine and the new unit, you can do a lot that can be very disruptive as well. There's definitely a lot of options out there. So we can't quite do enough here to get this Poe off the board. So I think what we'll do is just put a big unit out and see what happens. If they claim here, I think we ping. Okay, they don't claim. So I think here we ping and ping. And the next turn we're going to, if they attack in with Han, we will go into Han with old Daka. They choose not to. This just means we can ping to kill Poe here. So I think no matter what, we're either getting Poe or Han out. Okay, we're getting Poe out. They're discarding and getting cards out for us. That's fine. Sure. We're playing Maul. We're playing Maul. So they have brought Poe and Wrecker out. All right, so they're going to get another unit here. Their second Sabine's Masterpiece off of this. Good for them. We'll get our Chirrut down. He'll probably play another Wrecker. If I had to guess. And so you can see this deck on the other side. There's another Wrecker. That was my guess because every game we've played, our opponent has had exactly the right cards the entire time. That is how it goes. I'm not. It's whatever. And so I think that this deck has those things. And I think they got us. So that's GG's. Not much we can do there. We drew a very small curve throughout. Not able to compete with their growing curve. So let's go into our next one. I think that we do have some higher end cards. We have things like Force Lightning. You don't want to be in a full deck removal game. I don't think that's Maul's style, but there's definitely something missing against some of these. I do like this. We have a turn 1, 2 into what could be Maul with Maul's lightsaber, which can be very powerful, especially against something that's going to go wide with small units. You can get this overwhelm for a lot of damage. If you think about this hitting for 9, if you have a few smaller units out there, you could do a lot with it. And I think it's also something that can be very good against things like Queen Amidala. You can take out 2 spy tokens and overwhelm 14. Love the Porg. If you think about the Porg, based on what we just talked about, I'm not attacking into the Porg, going straight to base. I think it's important with a 27-28 race. Plus with the pings, we can kill it off. Yes, it allowed them to get an extra attack in, but I think that's just something we'd have to work through. Okay, that's going to be annoying. I'm not sure. And this unit is attacked, return to owner's hand. Okay, so that's annoying. I think we want to play this next turn. We want to play this turn. I think what we do is we go to base. Okay. Just keep that off the board because we are taking some damage here. And now we can kill it with Marin. Which I think works out better for us. If they play something bigger, we can kill it with the Karis. Like the IG. With the Sneaking Suspicion. And the Sudden Ferocity. Okay, that's a lot. Man. It's just enough, I think, to keep us 1 off. It's rough. Oh, 9 was right. I had to do it there. Whoops, I can't add. I don't think we can win no matter what, though, right? Because we can't attack Grievous. So we should have attack Grievous to bounce it. And then shrunk this down and killed it. But just the right amount, I think, to get to us. The Grievous ended up being a real problem. GG's to our opponent. I think we needed to drain Essence or Force Lightning. And you can see why Force Lightning is such an important card, but you need to draw it. I mean, it also kills the IG there. Just a lot of different things it can do. It's just a fast deck that got us on 5 resources. Oh, Carabas nulled out there. I don't think I'm playing this deck optimally. I think there's a lot more reps. And with any deck, right, you need to play a lot of reps to really understand it. I think there are mistakes I'm making on the resource side for sure. And then when to use the ping and where, how effective. But we'll see what happens here. I don't think we get to Crate Dragon. I do think these minuses can be helpful. Another thing I want to play around with more is the Palpatine, Chancellor Palpatine, the Flip Palp. I think there's a lot of fun things you can do with that card as a leader, and I think in this current setup, it's like a little bit of control, but unless you take advantage of a lot of interesting cards from both sides of the hero and villain. Snoke into Bo-Katan might be overkill, but it sounds super fun as well. Definitely things like that start to pop up. I think the Poe goes down here. Yep. So what we're going to have to do is try and kill it off. We are not going to be able to, so I think... everybody's got every answer. It's I'm gonna sound like a broken record. This is the what game? 4th game in a row with no Force Lightning, which has had an out in almost every game we played. We are running 2, so I think maybe a 3-up might be better. Because definitely it's causing issues. That was helpful for us, for sure. Although it does allow them to put it down here. But again, without Force Lightning, I think we just die. So, what are you going to do? Sun Ferocity? Yeah, smart. And that's it, right? You hit for 5, and this is lethal. There's nothing you can do here. Yeah. And GG's. Okay, so I think we played a decent number of games with Maul. It is not going great. Yes, we were able to beat Han 1 Green and Anakin Data Vault. Awesome, right? But we are struggling hard in some of the other ones. Some of the space got ahead of us. If we look at the tournament results, let's see how this Maul made it through. I believe it was here. Yep, so this Maul got second here with a Palpatine 1. Look at this. Yoda, a lot of Data Vault, right? And then this Maul. On their run, we don't know what they beat round 1. They beat the Han Solo, which we did. They lost to the Han Solo. Okay, sorry. They lost the Han Solo. They got Boba Data Vault. They got the Luke pilot. They lost to Palpatine. They beat the Anakin Data Vault. They beat the Yoda. Okay, so they beat both Yodas. They beat Anakin. And then they lost the Palpatine twice. Okay, so the control got it. That's definitely what we were experiencing. It did okay against these hero Data Vaults. We saw that. It lost to the Han. We did a little bit better against it. And then we didn't really run into these, although we had some problems with pilot. Okay, so you can see where it's at if If this continues to grow, I think it's going to continue to run into problems. But fun deck. Also, their list is different than this one. They were running, as you can see here, they're running Admiral Ozzel, wherever he is, to try and ping him to re-ready. They're still running the 2 Force Lightnings. They definitely think maybe thinking about 3 there. They have 3 lightsabers. They had a perilous position, so we moved some of that around. Fun overall. If you get the right draw, I think you can get through it. If you get a lot of this control and we see the meta shifting there, I think it's going to be very difficult to compete. But overall, hope you enjoyed the video. Having a great holiday season. Hopefully your PQs go well. Really appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, come join our Discord, add comments to the videos. We'll always reply to them. Really appreciate everyone, and happy holidays.